here the Spark means here Spark is a like a framework which was developed using a language called Scala. And once Spark was developed, that has been handed over to a particular Apache company. And in that there is a group of people who started developing Spark further. And these people, what they did, they used this particular platform. And before Databricks was there, all the developers were, and even Spark was not there. People used to use big data, like HDFS and MapReduce were the two frameworks people are using. As soon as Spark came into the market and it replaced MapReduce, and then it integrated with HDFS, and people started using both. And this was happening for some time. And whenever people started experiencing by leveraging these two frameworks like Spark and HDFS, so here HDFS is nothing but, let me share my screen. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just opening one file. If you are able to see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we talk about normal big data, right? See, the data was sitting before database was there. The data was sitting in the databases, and as soon as big data came into the market, Hadoop captured the market, and the people started storing the data in distributed machines. See, there are four machines here, right? And your data will be distributed into four machines. And here, if you see, every machine will have its own disk. So Hadoop used to interact with these machines, and since it is a disk, right, a disk will always will be slow. If you go and see, even pen drive is very slow, right? Correct or not? External devices. So a system with disk I/O operations will be very slow. So what people did slowly, this has been replaced by, this particular disk operations have been replaced by Spark, and where your data got, people start processing in the computer memory itself. So the disk has been replaced by RAM. So slowly what happened, data engine is started using Spark and they replaced MapReduce with Spark. And this particular big data combination became very, very popular. For the large scale data processing, that too faster. But what the challenge here is how to maintain this infrastructure. So every company was thinking about how to maintain this infrastructure. So they need to hire a separate team, and the team has to build this environment, and that is not easy also. So what happened? So we got data warehouses and data lakes from the big data side, but this lake house was not there before. Only up to generation 2 only, before Databricks was there. So whenever we move to the next level, so since data has been slowly increased and the maintenance also was very challenged, so companies started experiencing some biggest burden of infrastructure purchase. So when you want to maintain this environment also, we need to buy so much infrastructure. It's not easy to maintain. Not everybody will be ready to do that. So that is where slowly what happened, the company started thinking about, okay, Spark came into the projects, but it is giving very good solution. But at the same time, how can we go and get a solution that can automate the infrastructure also? So to automate the infrastructure, that is where the Databricks came into the market. So when I say Databricks, so Databricks is a platform which is basically, if you see here, the entire infrastructure has been, the data engineers who were there here, they moved here. And even data engineers, data analysts, and business users, all these people, they started using this Databricks platform, which was developed by Databricks team. And before this, the data engineers were sitting here and they used to work on all these operations. So Databricks team, they built this platform and they asked data engineers to move out of this infrastructure maintenance. And these people started maintaining this infrastructure and they asked data engineers to only focus on processing the data. They do not need to bother about how to maintain this environment. So that is where Databricks came into the market and how slowly it has been captured the market and everybody start using Databricks. And since this is a platform, everything is plug and play. And as a data engineer, I can use Databricks platform and I can write my own PySpark scripts and other like code, and I can manage this entire environment using that. So to learn Databricks, we need to also learn PySpark here because the entire database platform was developed on a by using Spark only. So to learn Spark, especially PySpark, you need to know Python because PySpark is a combination of Python and Spark. So we need to learn about this PySpark to build this data pipelines. We see every team has its own separate pipelines. So this is particular maybe finance team, admin team, IT team, and maybe sales team. So every team is having its their own separate databases. So to integrate all these databases, we need a platform. So that is where Databricks will come into picture, and that will help us to move all our databases to here. This is called Delta Lake. So whatever the databases available here, every database, all these databases, we are pushing into a Delta Lake here, and whatever the metadata we call it as. So the metadata of all these databases will be maintained using the a Unity catalog. So Unity catalog is the one where it will help the data engineers to automate this particular data Delta Lake, I mean. So all the data projects, why they are moving to Databricks is the maintenance is very easy. Infrastructure maintenance will be eliminated, and all sources can be integrated in one place. and this can be used by many different people with different use cases also. So that is where the industry slowly moved to Databricks environment from the existing on-premise. See, so we observe here most of the projects which are independently they are working. Slowly companies move to this Delta Lake now. So Delta Lake is a combination of like data warehouse and data lake, and we it is going to have both structured and semi-structured, unstructured, all kinds of data. So which can manage a huge amount of data. A huge amount of data can be maintained or managed using the Databricks Delta Lake. So many different sources can come here and can be pushed into this particular like a Databricks environment, and we can divide them into like bronze, silver, and gold layers. We call it as, and every data engineer should know how to create these pipelines to pull most of the sources, and then they need to push whatever the raw data as it is into bronze layer, and from the bronze layer we'll push into silver layer by processing it, and from here to gold layer. The final data will be in the gold layer. So, but to build these pipelines, whatever you see, to process the data from here to here, here to here, and here to here, we need to write data pipelines. So, these data pipelines, you if at all you want to write, you need to know PySpark. To understand PySpark, what you have to know? Python. Are you getting? All of you?
Yeah.
So Python is very important here. So Python is the foundation for PySpark, and PySpark is the foundation for building the data pipelines in the Databricks environment. So what is Python? So when I say Python, so Python is one of the fundamental programming language which is very commonly used language in the market now. You go to any particular job, right? Without Python, you cannot go and move forward. So you need to know what is Python. So Python is one of the general purpose high level programming language. When I say general purpose, so there are so many languages in the market like C, C++, Java, we have like Scala, many different languages. But every language will have one purpose here. C++ is for object-oriented programming. C for function programming, COBOL for business purpose. And we also have languages like MATLAB for mathematical programming, Fortran for scientific programming, Lisp and Prolog. These languages are for artificial intelligence. So every language, when the people developed, they developed for a particular purpose, and those languages are popular only in that area. But when we talk about Python was developed for any kind of purpose. I can use Python similar to C++, and I can implement object-oriented programming in Python. I can use Python for web development like HTML. I can use Python for data science and machine learning. I can use Python for like managing the databases. I can use Python to use for scientific programming and then mathematical programming. So I can use Python for any purpose. That's why we call it as general purpose programming language, and which is a high level programming language, which is usually people write in English kind of code. And when the creator, when he released this in 1991, his motivation for building this language also is he don't want to follow a predefined structure like other programming languages. So anybody here, most of most of you might have already in your academics, at least you might have seen C programming or C++, right? All of you.
Yeah.
Any language you people already studied in your academics. Which language you studied? Spurti, sorry, Spurti and
C. Yeah. Yeah.
C
See,
programming.
see.
So, C programming, if you see, you need to follow a structure, right? In C programming, like you need to include header files and then main, and then parenthesis, opening curly braces, begin, and you need to follow some structure, right? If you don't follow the structure, your program will not compile at all. Correct or not? Do you
Yes.
agree?
Yeah.
And even if at all I want to use any variable, I need to declare it first. Without declaration, I cannot use a variable. So these are all some strict rules which you need to follow. If you go to C++ and Java, also same. So this guy who developed Python, he does not want to follow all these rules. He wants to create his own language where he will have a freedom to write his code without following any structure. That is the first motivation. And he wants to have a programming language which can be used for any kind of purpose, not for a one particular requirement. Like he wants to use Python for object oriented, like C++. He want to use Python for procedural language like C and functional language like Scala. He want to use Python for web development like HTML. So he wants to use Python for any kind of purpose, including that data science also, artificial intelligence also. So he created this language in such a way which will become a one of the extremely versatile language in the market now. You can imagine how many people are using Python in the market now. How many projects have been migrated to Python also. So that much popular Python in the market now. Even most of the Java projects now slowly people migrate into Python now. Many projects in big data in other language like Scala and Java, people are slowly migrating into Python and PySpark because Python is very flexible. It can be integrated with any kind of tools very easily. And it was invented in Netherlands in early 90s by this guy Gadavan Rasam, and he started developing Python in 1980s, but the actual implementation was started in 1989 and he released in 1990. And also the name why he has given the name Python is the first name he has given is Monty Python. Later he renamed to Python because he was a fan of a famous TV channel program in Netherlands called Monty Python Flying Circus. So he simply renamed the name as he named that programming language Python. There is no any specific reason for that. And from the beginning, he made it open source. So open source means here what? Python is very it is free. I can download and I can install and I can start using it without paying any money. So from the beginning, when he released till now, Python is open source and free. So different versions of Python got released, but every version is free to download and you can use it. So he is the guy who developed Python and invented Python, and he developed this program in such a way he wants to give the freedom and nobody will find it difficult to write the code and everybody should understand others code. That's what is his motivation and intention of developing Python. Now this language became one of the unique language and mandatory language for every developer in the market now, wherever you go. And who are using Python? So Python is being used by many different companies to generate revenue, to build revenue generating products. And Google also uses Python in their search engine. When you search anything in Google, the background, the code which will be executed is written in Python only, which is called natural language processing. And many software companies or hardware companies like Intel, Cisco, HP, Seagate, Qualcomm, every company using Python in their hardware testing. And YouTube video sharing service also largely written in Python coding only. So there are so many companies who are extensively using Python. and they are developing their applications also in Python only. And what can we do in Python? We can do many things in Python. So we can automate most of the regular activities which you are performing. I can automate using Python. Like data extraction. I have a set of tables in a database. I want to extract the data from them and I want to create a Excel file and I want to send an email. So I can do every end-to-end process using Python. I can build websites using Python. I can do web scraping. I can write intent scripting. I can use Python for machine learning. I can use Python for database programming and management. I can even build using mobile apps using Python. Because all these, whatever you see, these are people used to achieve with a separate language. Now, Python can do all this. And I can use Python for 3D and games and computer vision and XML parsing, artificial intelligence. So most of the activities I can easily do in Python because Python is having its own libraries or packages to implement all this. And these are the common applications of Python. Like it is used for web and internet development. You can also build the desktop GUI applications, and I can also go and build scientific and numerical applications, and I can use Python for even for normal software development also, where Java people mostly use, but here Python is also slowly capturing the market. And education like applications like Udemy, Udacity, IntelliPad, many online institutes they are using Python extensively in their application. Because if you see in Udemy or in Udacity, you will see some recommendation of courses also. So those recommendations which you receive will be implemented using Python recommendation engine. And I can also build business applications and 3D graphics and gaming development, network programming, database access. So many things I can do in Python. There is no any limitation. I can build a end-to-end website for a company using Python. That is the power of Python. So Python is extensively used by most of the companies, and this is the sample code of Python. Whatever you see, if I say z equal to 3.45, so here normally z is a float type variable, and this y is a string type variable because we are enclosing double quotes. So Python is will not expect you to declare anything. Simply, if I say z equal to 3.45, Python will understand z is a float type. If I say y equal to following double quotes, Python will understand y is a string. If you see x equal to 34 minus 23, which is 11, so Python will automatically understand x is an integer. So normally how you declare in C programming or C++, we do not need to declare. Python is very flexible. But how to write the Python code? What tool I need to use? So we have so many different tools available in the market. So Databricks also have its own notebooks which you can use to develop the Python. Or there is a tool called Anaconda Navigator. So Anaconda Navigator is one of the popular tools people use. So if you go and see, you, if you go and see to use Python coding, you need to use this particular tool. So, so Anaconda Navigator is one of the. How to use it? You need to go to Google and search for Anaconda download. So this is available for Mac and Windows. So according to your laptop OS, you select this. Maybe I want to go with Anaconda download for Windows. Click on this So get started. So it will ask you to sign in. You can simply use any of your email. So you will see your distribution here. So when you click this, it will download the Anaconda Windows installer. Double click and install this software like how you install like normal software. So once after you installed and your installation is completed, but how can I cross check Python is installed in my laptop or not? To verify your installation is successful or not, you can go through your search bar and search for Anaconda here, and you will see a green circle icon like this. If you see this icon means you in your laptop Anaconda is already available. And simply click on this button. When you click on this button, it will open this particular Anaconda Navigator application. Just a minute. So you will see this particular environment. This environment is Anaconda Navigator application. So here you will see there are similar different applications are there. You can see like PyCharm is one particular tool for Python development. We also have Jupyter Lab. This is also very popular. Jupyter Notebook. We also have Spider, which is very popular. VS Code Editor. So all these are used for Python development. So assume that I want to use Jupyter Lab. So simply I go here. I'll simply go and use launch button. When you click on launch button, it will open a new window. So it will open a new window in web browser. So there you need to start using it like this. So it is opening a new web browser for my Anaconda Jupyter Lab, and here you need to run your code. So how to start running the code? So we need to. So you will be initially in this particular page in the downloads page. So you need to create your own folders like this and segregate. So you start to start with, you can simply click on plus button, and here you can select maybe this one, and it will open a new IVPYNB, which is Interactive Python Notebook. So here you can start building your code. So for example, I want to say a equal to or age equal to 45. So for 56, I mean sorry, is equal to 56. So age will become a integer type. If I say height 6.4. So now height will become a float type. Age is a integer type, and employee name Paul. This will become a string type. So we can simply display these values also. Simply if I say age, it will display 56. If I say height, it will simply display me what value it is holding 6.4. When I say EMP name, it will display the employee name. Or else if you want to print, you can use a print function also. Print of age, I need to say. So this is going to give me just a minute. So it is a print of age. It will display me the age. So either I can use like this, or I can even use simply the variable also. So Jupyter Notebook in Jupyter Lab is it will help you to directly use like this. So print is a function to display something on the console, and age is a integer type, height is a float type, and emp name is a string type. So this is basically called as age is a integer type variable, height is a float type variable, and emp name is a string type variable. So we created three different variables here. A variable is a name given to a value in the memory location. So here we gave 56 we are storing in age. 6.4 we are storing in height. And then Paul we are storing in employee name. So like that we can create any number of variables, but every variable will have some set of rules to follow while creating a variable name, whatever you are using here, like age or height or employee name, whatever you see here, this should not be a Python keyword. And every variable should start with either alphabet or underscore. A variable name should not start with a number or any other special character except underscore. And even in between, I should have only underscore, not any other special characters. Is it clear? Any questions from anyone? Karthi
Yeah, it's
and then
clear.
Smriti and Naga. Are you guys following?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes.
I can't hear anyone. Are you able to follow?
Yeah.
Okay. So every variable, when you are creating each variable, whatever you see, this is a integer type variable. This is a float type. And this is a string type. We also have one more type called Boolean also. Like for example, I want to go and see a person is a job holder or not. So I'll say true or false. So a Boolean type variable will hold only true or false. So each job is a Boolean type. So how do I know what is the type of age? So then I need to use a so I need to use just a minute. A type function. A type is a function that will allow us to see the type of that variable. So type of age. The type of age is integer. Similar to that. So type of age means age is holding 56. So Python automatically understanding age is the integer type. So type of height. So type of height. So height is a float type. So it should display me as float. So what is the type of data that variable is holding? This type function will identify. And employee name should be string. So it will display as str. So which is string type. And what is the type of each job?
Boolean.
Each job is holding either true or false. So it will be Boolean type. BOOL. So it will show like that. So these are the fundamental data types: integer, float, string, and Boolean. And every variable, whatever we created here, can hold only one value as of now. And we can even store more than one value also. And for that, I need to use data structures. So then I can store more than one value. And every variable, just to recap, every variable should start with a alphabet or a underscore. I cannot use any other special characters here. For example, if I use at the rate, it will not allow me because this variable should not have that particular special character. Even I can't use ampersand or any special character except underscore even in between also. Like this. I cannot use. So Python will not allow any special characters here. So every variable should not be a Python keyword also. And a variable always start with a alphabet or underscore, and in between of the variable name you should not see any other special character except this particular underscore.
Uh,
And if you go and
what
see
like from
the
where these values we
variables
are able
which you are
to
going to
pull?
create, these variables are holding only one value, and every variable will have a data type, and which is like either integer or float or string or boolean, and these are all normally we call them as variables. And how to combine these variables? We assume that I have a equal to 40 and then b equal to 20. So when we go back and see a is 40 and b is 20 here, so I can do a plus b here, correct or not? So which will give me the addition of two numbers. So here plus is acting as a arithmetic addition. So when I say a plus b, 40 plus 20, it will display me 60. And a minus b, it is going to give me 40 minus 20, which is 20. When I say a asterisk b, which is basically a multiplication. So 40 into 20, which is 800. And when I say a slash b, it will give me the coefficient. What will be the coefficient if I divide 40 by 20? Who will tell? What will be the output of this a by b? What is the value of a by b here if a is 40 and b is 20?
2.
Who will answer that?
2.
So a division always will provide, a slash will always provide the coefficient, not the remainder in the division. So a slash b will return
0.
single slash b will return always a decimal point like this, 2.0. As of now, 40 divided by 20 is 2.0. So like that, what if I want to see integer division? I will use double slash here. So double slash is going to give us integer, so the decimal point will be eliminated like this. So single slash for normal division, and double slash for integer division, and a double asterisk 2. This will behave like a power operator. A is already 40, so 40 square it will go and find out. So 40 square is nothing but 1600. So double asterisk is called as power operator. So arithmetic operators which we discussed as of now. We have relational operators, logical operators, and we also have assignment operators also. So all these operators will be very helpful when you are writing your code. Okay, so what you can do today is I will try to share a document on how to install Anaconda Navigator with in your laptop, and you can simply, after you create it, you can open Jupyter Lab and create one simple basic file and run the commands. I will share the commands also, whatever we discussed today. And I want you to try all these commands. Clear? Any questions?
In the last, you mentioned you will be sending the
Smriti,
doc.
any questions?
Can you hear me?
You can ask.
Can you hear me?
These basic commands I will send you through a notepad plus
Muddy, I can
file,
hear you, but
and you can
can you
also
hear me?
go and
Yeah,
run
I
from your
can
side.
hear you.
Yeah,
I
I
Fine.
don't
think
think
he's not
the
able to. I was
question.
asking questions, but
Will you people try that? Yes or no? I can't hear anyone. Yes, please, Naga, tell me. Naga, you can ask. Oh, my voice is not audible. Huh? Just a minute. Just a minute. Oh, okay. That's what I can't hear you guys. Maybe I need to check that. Anyway, so y- you just practice the commands I'm going to share you. You can work on them, and you try to install Anaconda Navigator first. So Anaconda Navigator software, I want you people to install in your laptop. It can be a MacBook or it can be Windows also. The document will guide you. Just you need to install that, and then open Jupyter Lab and try to run the basic commands which I'm going to share you. If you have any specific questions, we can discuss tomorrow. Not a problem. Correct, correct. I'll send everything today. So pulling the data in the sense it is just like a print only. Print of age will display. I will share, Smriti. I will share that. So it is from the memory only, right? When you are storing any variable, it will store in the memory only. Every variable. Age is a variable. It will store in the memory. And when you say print of age, it will display from the memory automatically. Any variable, even height also. Every variable will be available until you will be in that session. And once after you go out of the session, all memory will be cleared. You do not need to declare anything. We assign, right, age equal to 45. Age equal to 45 means it will create the variable. And normally, if you go to C programming, you say like int space age and then age equal to 45. But in Python, you do not need to use int age, like a kind of declaration is not needed. Simply age equal to 45 itself means that Python will declare and it will automatically store the value also. So that is the beauty of Python. You do not need to install declare anything. You can simply assign the value which will automatically assign the data type. Based on the value which you are assigning, Python will understand. Python interpreter is very intelligent. Okay. So you just try to create these variables and try to work on the arithmetic operators and try to create different variables. And you also need to identify, I am going to share one assignment and you need to identify which variable is valid and which variable is invalid also. Will you do that, all of you? Why? Because you need to understand what is the importance of variables and operators and data types in a programming language, specifically in Python. And tomorrow we'll continue and we'll try to see the other operators and data structures also. I will start. Like we have 4 different types of data structures, like list, tuple, dictionaries, and sets. I will discuss about that. For today, that's all. But please try to install the Anaconda Navigator and try to open the Jupyter Lab and work on the commands I am going to share you. Okay. Okay, then that's all for today. Thank you so much.